What you want, what you want, what you need, what you want, what you want, what you need, what you want. What you want, what you need, what you want, what you want, what you need, what you want, what you want, what you need, what you want, what you want, what you need, what you want, what you want.
Time now on Max TV to look at the latest in the family of Action Replay products for your handheld console. Now, for anyone that hasn't used Action Replay before, let me just explain exactly what it is. It's basically a cheat system. It's been around for decades now. It's made by a company called Datel. And what it does, it allows you to play your games in an entirely different way to how you play them when they come out of the box. So, thanks to Action Replay, you can get things like infinite lives, health, ammo, unlock various things in the game, and also fool around with it and do things that even the programmers of the game never knew you could do with it. Now this one is the latest one, and it's actually for the Nintendo DS, but it also works with Game Boy Advance games as well. So it's a sort of dual device, and this is it here. As you can see, it's silver, just the same colour as the Nintendo DS itself, and it's got two sides to it. It's got a DS side, which DS cartridges fit into. I've got Ridge Racer here, and that just plugs into the DS slot just like so, just like a standard DS cartridge. I'll show you why you want to do that in a second. But first, let me just show you the other side. This is the Game Boy Advance side, and yet again, you just plug the cartridge in like you would with a standard Game Boy Advance game, like so. Now, the Action Replay device itself plugs into the Nintendo DS in the Game Boy Advance slot. So that just plugs in like this. In it goes, nice and easily. And from here, this is where you can start doing some really magical stuff with your games. Now, in order to activate it, you do need a Game Boy Advance game in the back. So I'm going to plug that in, and then we're away. Now, on the Action Replay cartridge itself, there are thousands of codes for hundreds of games. Some of them might be really popular games. Other games may not be so popular, but the chances are, if you've got a Game Boy Advance game sitting at home gathering dust on your shelf, Action Replay will probably have a code for it. And that means you can put that in here and just start changing the way the game plays. If we look at the code list here, we've got Action Replay running on here. There are hundreds of games listed here. They're all listed alphabetically. All you do is you scroll down to the game you want. Say you're really into Pokemon or something like that. Here we go. We've got Pokemon Pinball. Say you're into Pokemon Pinball. You hit the button there, and there you go. You can choose any of these codes. You can have infinite coins, maximum score, no ball saver. So all you do is look at the codes you want, activate them just with the little tick boxes, and then start the game with the code saved. That means that the game will now change the way it plays. This could be anything from, if you're in a driving game, you might be able to stop the timer so you can get to the end of the course in time without running out of time. Or say you're playing, fighting a really difficult boss in a beat 'em up, you can have, say, infinite energy. Always a full energy meter and beat them easily, which gets you to the next stage, which means you're not stuck anymore, and then you can carry on with some of the games that you may have stuck on your shelf and got fed up or bored with. So that's basically the way Action Replay works for Game Boy Advance. But of course we have got this plugged into the nice and nifty Nintendo DS. Action Replay for DS does work very differently to the Game Boy Advance version, and that's because DS games, they're all very accumulative. Say you're playing something like Tiger Woods. As you're playing through that, you're a golfer, you're always improving the stats as you play, and you're building up the character, you're unlocking new courses, you're unlocking new clubs, that sort of stuff. Obviously, these saves take a long time to make, and if you've got one cartridge and you want to share it amongst people, if it hasn't got more than one profile on it, you're going to be a bit stuck. You don't want to wipe over someone else's game save. That's where Nintendo DS Action Replay comes in. Not only can you manage your saves, not only can you back them up, you can also share cartridges with people and use multiple profiles. Now let me just show you how this works. I've got Ridge Racer here. What I'm going to do is just plug this into the DS side of the Action Replay. Now this is now acting as a sort of flashcard reader. It can actually read the data from the flash memory within the Nintendo DS cartridge and write to it as well. Now that's the clever thing. Now if we go back into the Action Replay menu and actually choose the Nintendo DS side, the Max Drive for DS, and click on that, we can then save a profile. Now you can put 4 different people's profiles on here, and you can assign game saves to each of these profiles, and there's room for hundreds and hundreds of saves on here. So to be honest, you're not going to run out of space for a very long time, even if you're a keen gamer. There's a profile on there already. I'm just going to add another profile just to show you. And for ease of use, I'm just going to call myself E. There we go. That's done. And you can even assign yourself a colour, which is very in keeping with the style of the DS. And also an icon. We've got all sorts there. We've got a ghost, a joystick, a dinosaur. I quite like the ghost. We're going to stick with the ghost here. So that's my profile set up now. So now that I've made my profile with a ghost, we can go into the menu system. And from here, this is where it gets really interesting. What you can do with Action Replay for DS is back up and restore game saves straight to your game card. Now that opens up a whole wealth of opportunities. So say you've got, say you have been playing, we've got Ridge Racer in there, but say you've been playing Tiger Woods or something like that, and say you've managed to unlock all of the courses and you've got the best golfer ever and you've maxed all their stats up. They've got maximum power, their shot range is good, they can putt with their eyes closed. Your friend might want your save. They might not want to play through the whole game. What you can do is you back up your save to here using your profile, then they can put their card in, set up their own profile, then take that save and put it on their own card. So then they've got your save. How cool is that? If you're in the playground and you're the messiah of games and you're really good, your friends will be flocking to use this Action Replay and actually get some of your goodies, or your gaming goodies, on their cartridge. How cool is that? Now, not only can you use it to transfer saves, you can just store them in there, just back them up. You never know, your little sister might come along, she might start playing Ridge Racer, and then set up her own profile and wipe yours. Now, you're not going to be very happy if you've spent days and weeks playing it and she wipes your profile. Well, if you've got them backed up onto Action Replay, it doesn't matter. All you do is put the cartridge back in here, restore it, and away you go. It's that simple. You've got the save backed up in here, put it onto the card, and you've got your save restored. You haven't lost that week's worth of playing, and you basically go away a happy bunny. Now, not only can you put saves onto here, if you look down here, see that? That's mini USB, that is. What that means is you can connect this to your PC. Now, with this comes a piece of software that lets you manage your saves, and it's a very simple drag and drop mechanism. On there, there's already saves which are on the disk, actually, for you to use with your games. But if you want to transfer your saves from your cartridge onto the PC, you drag and drop them and you've got them stored forever then. That means if you run out of space here, you've still got them on your PC. If somehow you manage to lose your Action Replay cartridge or something and it's got your saves on, you've still got them backed up. And because they're on your PC, if you're online, that means you can email them to anyone in the world. If one of your friends have got one of these, say in, I don't know, say they're in America and they've got a hold of an Action Replay and they want your save, no longer do you have to be in the same room. You just transfer your save from your card to the Action Replay, using the software to your PC, email it, and then he does the reverse at his end. Puts it onto his Action Replay, onto his profile, straight onto his card. That is what Action Replay does. It opens up a whole new world of gaming that you wouldn't believe. Now, not only can you transfer your game saves, The guys at Datel that make Action Replay are all very keen games players themselves. And on their website, they've got a website called codejunkies.com. They've actually put things called power saves on there. Now, if you've got an Xbox and you use the Max Drive system for the Xbox, you'll know what they are. If you haven't got an Xbox, let me just explain. Power saves are really special saves that these expert games players have made. So they may have completely cracked a game and got everything in it and got a save for it. Or they may have got all the cars in a certain game and got a save for it. What you can do, search for the save on there, and again, using the simple software, drag and drop from the PC onto your Action Replay, and you've got a very extra special save that no one else has got straight on your cartridge. You can go to the website, but to start you off, there are already power saves on here straight from the box. So when you take it out of the box, put it in, have a look, see if you've got power saves for your game. And it's also fully updatable. As new games come out, obviously new games are going to come out all the time for the Nintendo DS. Keep checking back at the website, because as the games come out, Datel will be making new power saves. Go on there, download them to your Action Replay, have a lot of fun. Now let me just recap exactly what you get here. From the box, you get the cartridge itself. Let me just take it out and show it one more time. This is the cartridge. This is where all the magic happens. You've got the DS side, where you put the flash cards in to transfer saves to and from your flash card. You've got the Game Boy Advance side for your Action Replay for Game Boy Advance, and the cartridges go in the top. So that's the Action Replay itself. It's very lightweight, very handy, and it's also got a little switch here to turn Action Replay on and off at the flick of a switch. So if you're in the middle of a game and you want to just switch Action Replay off, just disable it like that. If you want to turn it on, switch it back on. It's that simple. Also in the box you get the USB lead. It's a mini USB lead. That simply plugs straight into there, into your PC, and you get the PC software as well. So that's the kit. It completely revolutionises the way you play on your DS. It's a sort of transitional thing, really. The DS, a lot of people have got Game Boy Advances. They're moving on to the DS. It's backwards compatible. We're thinking, well, Action Replay, why can't that be backwards compatible too? So not only does it work with DS, it works with Game Boy Advance as well. You're getting two things in one. If you want to order this great new addition to the Action Replay family, the code is MAX315, and it's only going to set you back £29.99 plus P&P. That's about the price of a game, and if you've got loads of old games sitting around in your shelves gathering dust, it will inject new life into them, not only for the Game Boy Advance, but for the Nintendo DS as well. If you want to order, the number is 08450 702 571. Just speak to our friendly sales team. They'll sort you out, give them your card details, and they'll ship it straight out to you with no fuss. Alternatively, if you don't want to use the phone, you can always use the interweb, as I like to call it, on www.max.tv. That's Action Replay, a fantastic gaming product. More great stuff coming up now on Max TV.
What you want, what you need, what you want, what you want.
Hello, you're watching Max TV, and on Max TV we always like to bring you the latest gadgets.
Yes. You're awake from your dream. Harlan, the size of the world has changed. Wonderful indeed. I'm here to kill. You bastard. Adios. This is too easy.
Adios.